Hello everyone, we're from Sweden.
And today we will be making
Swedish meatballs. My name is Pettersson. I'm the market manager here for Business Sweden in Taiwan. I've been here for 5 months now. Very much enjoying my stay. Yeah.
Then my name is Matthias Dick and I work here at our Business Sweden office as a consultant, and I've been here since the beginning of the year.
Today we are making Swedish meatballs.
Swedish meat, that's very classic.
Yes.
Swedish dish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we can start with the basics. You need to have the meat.
The meat.
Yeah. So this is pork grinded meat.
Yes.
Regularly you can also add some beef grinded meat.
So it can be a mixture of it.
Yeah, 50-50 is perfect. And then we of course going to make mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Uh,
It's a Swedish classic and a cornerstone of the Swedish cuisine, I would say.
The sauce is a mixture of a couple of ingredients. So, of course, first we have the cream.
The cream.
Yes, we have a bit of soy sauce.
Yes.
We have some butter and some beef stock. If you make meatballs overseas, then many people would use cranberry jam because it's difficult to find the real, the what's called the lingonberry.
It's native there.
Yes. But if you can't find the lingonberry, you can use cranberry, or possibly you can use blackcurrant.
I see.
They are both also quite sour. So
This is originally imported from Sweden as well,
I see.
especially for this occasion.
I see.
yeah.
Have you had them before?
Yes, I always had my meatballs in IKEA.
That is a good pronunciation as well.
We're only going to chop them once,
Yes.
then boil them in half. So
I see.
pretty simple. You know, just take your potato
Yes.
and split it in half. And put those there.
Just simply split in half.
Yeah, very simple. You start with the cold water.
Cold water.
And then you bring it up to a boil with the potatoes in the water. So
I see.
very simple. Just
他们的这个马铃薯泥煮马铃薯要从冷水开始煮哦。
And don't forget the salt.
yes, salt.
Or have to salt the water.
Not that easy to be a potato master.
Okay.
So when you have your breadcrumbs in the correct way, you just put some milk over it, and you need to let it soak.
Make it wet, let it soak.
Exactly, and this takes approximately maybe 5 minutes,
Yes.
so that it's really soaked all through, because we need a consistent mash to add to the grounded meat.
I see. As a glue.
Exactly, to pull it all together. And this is also why we are adding one of the eggs as the glue
Yes.
as well, to keep the meatballs together, because you would like them round and not flat.
See.
Well, you can never have enough of butter, really. But I think that maybe we should stay at least a little bit healthy. So, like this part,
Like the
yeah, that's
1/4.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah, it's butter and onion. We can't go wrong, right? And so we put the heat down a little bit. It's gas after all, and then
再把火变小。
you can usually just pepper it up a little bit with black pepper, just for the flavor, so it sinks in. And so
稍微拌炒完之后，加一些现磨的黑胡椒去增加它的香味。
great. And now we can actually see that the onion is getting, a little bit sweaty, and
我们要让洋葱流汗。
absorb it. So what we can do now is to just transfer this
Yes.
to another container, take it off the heat,
See.
because we're gonna let this cool for a second.
Yes.
And then we're gonna combine it with the ground meat.
Yes.
But we don't want the meat to cook from the onion, we want it to cook from the pan, so you need to cool off a bit, right? So you take the meat and
Yes.
you put it in also a very easy way into the bowl.
我
And
们现在
this is,
把绞肉放进来。
so the next step is to take 1 egg. So usually 1 egg per 400 grams.
Yes.
It's enough. So if you're doing a bigger portion, just keep in mind 1 egg per 400 grams.
可以自己去乘以你要几颗蛋。
We should be adding the breadcrumbs
Yes.
that we have soaked previously with the milk. So we can just put it in and just to see how, so that's enough. So black pepper,
I'm a big fan of black pepper. Can
Okay.
I add a lot of it?
you can add as much as you want. You tell me when to stop.
Okay.
White pepper,
Yes.
okay.
除了黑胡椒，还有白胡椒。
So in Sweden, that's a traditional mix. It's called episrish.
Epicedish?
Yeah, epicedish. But unfortunately, it's not that widely available in Taiwan. So we have to.
Substitution is
Yes,
okay.
so we're compromising. And we're adding a little bit of that as well. And then lastly, a healthy pinch of salt. Just like that. Now we have to mix it together. This is beginning to look like something that resembles
The meatball.
the meat for meatballs.
Do you hate it?
Like raw.
Like,
Do you want to try it? Raw. I wouldn't recommend it. It's pork.
I mean, hate it like when we make meatballs in Chinese culture.
Yeah.
We throw it into the container,
Oh.
so that make it like more glutinous.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for teaching
Yeah,
me.
that's my Taiwanese tip.
Very good.
Maybe a lot of people in Sweden are going to be throwing their meatballs now.
Okay.
We actually forgot about the onion.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Add the onion. I hope that nobody will forget about the onion.
Okay.
And then we mix it together again, using your hands preferably.
You know, you just eyeball it basically. Take something maybe like, maybe something like this.
Looks
Usually
perfect.
what I would do.
Should we keep it like boiling hard or?
Yeah, let's keep boiling.
Okay.
So actually, the good thing here also is to get multiple tries. If one becomes too big or too small, you just pick it up again and then either remove or add some. So, and of course, also this part it's great to involve kids. Kids love making meatballs.
I think
so.
I'm going to make it.
Sure.
As well.
You should, if you have another preference, then please go ahead and make it smaller. Make
I
it
like a
bigger,
medium as well.
There are no rules when it comes to meatballs.
Maybe
see.
you can show us the throw.
Yeah.
The throw of the meatball.
Oh yeah. Okay. 台湾人
Stand back
呢
a bit here for
Yeah.
会甩肉丸。So this is to make the protein hold hand in hand.
Ah.
But we have like a lot of onions in it.
Yeah.
And maybe the texture is not this suitable for that.
It looked very professional.
Yeah. So for the mashed potato, we need to heat up some cream and some milk. 200 milliliters of cream, and then some milk, about maybe 100 milliliters.
所以大概牛奶跟鲜奶油大概是2:1。Nutmeg，加一点豆蔻粉。
So in go the meatballs.
Yes.
And of course here you want a bit of a browning. You know, that's what
Yes.
the flavor is going to be. So,
Yes.
maybe we don't crowd the pan more than this because we want to give some space to each individual meatball here. Then you can just nudge them a little bit to make sure that they're not stuck. But then we leave them for some browning here.
Yeah, they look good.
So they are not uniform, but this is not a beauty contest.
Yes. Yes.
Meatballs are supposed to have personality. It's very important. So.
And also now you know for sure that they are homemade.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good. So now we're going to make the sauce, which is also an important part of this dish.
Yes.
And for that we will need beef stock and also cream. And there is also a little tip that I can give you.
有个小技巧。
Is to use the leftovers from actually doing the meatballs.
Oh.
Because you have all these delicious flavors
Yes.
from the meat and from the onion and also the butterness of
Yes.
it. Not all of it, just a little bit.
Maybe like half.
Nah, I would. That's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
我
you
刚以为要加多一点。
see, perfect. And then you have this.
我们先这个动作叫 deglaze，我们把这个味道洗出来。
So now we created all the beautiful flavors in the pan.
Yeah, and the browning.
Exactly. It's now coming up.
刚刚先不要加太多，是因为我们要做 deglaze 这个动作，把那个焦糖化味道洗出来，然后再加多一点。
The history behind it is that when the Swedish king Charles XII went for the conquest of Russia and failed, he was held in captivity in Turkey. So, and he ate a lot of Turkish foods.
Yes.
And when he actually managed to go back to Sweden, he said that he had all these amazing cooks in Turkey, and that he would like to introduce that in Sweden.
I see.
So there probably were some lady in Sweden imported from Turkey to
Yes.
make Turkish dishes, and he just fell in love probably with the cooks.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe we can call him like Krokumman, the cook that cooked for her, for him.
Yes.
You don't know. A lot of traditional Swedish dishes actually originate from Turkey. But of course, over the last 250, 300 years,
I see.
They became traditionally Swedish dishes.
I see.
Perfect. And just for the clarification, the made-up name of the chef, the Turkish chef, that's probably not historically correct.
Okay.
So what we're doing now, we need to season the sauce a little bit.
Yes.
And we're doing it with black pepper, which you love. So I will put a lot more here because we really
Thank you so much for that.
I know it's a contest and we want to win. Okay. So
it's not a contest. Who told you that?
You did.
I did?
Yeah, backstage. Come on.
Okay.
The sauce is reducing nicely.
Yes.
We see these kind of strings in the pan. It's a good sign.
Yes.
And then we add a bit of this kind of flavor enhancer, Maggi.
就你用勺子划过去，它是会有一个痕迹出现的，就代表它的稠度是 OK 的。
You need to mash this up, obviously, and we're going to use this strainer here to mash them. So basically, you can use the.
最好是用一个有洞的漏勺或筛子去把马铃薯泥压过那个洞，然后让它细碎一点，它这样可以比较 creamy。然后马铃薯也压好了，我们就要趁热把它加在一起。So let's mix them.
Yeah. You know, lots of butter, lots of cream, then you get really silky smooth. Oops.
Okay, let's plate.
Try to make this
Yeah, this is the most important part.
beautiful. Put two on top there also.
Yes.
Here we go.
I can do the cucumber.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Should probably use
No,
a
they smell
slightly
nice.
bigger spoon for this, but so you can
I will
see
love
also
it.
the lingonberry also adds very nice color here. I think that's maybe.
And it's really nice with the sourness, the richness of the dish. And then we take some of the onions, the cucumbers, put them on the side. Like this, and a little bit of black pepper on top.
It looks very appetizing.
There you go.
The pepper also adds a nice visual interest. So
Yes.
Let's not forget the sauce over the meatballs.
Over the meatballs.
Try.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately not food stylist, but I think we did pretty good. So welcome everyone. My name is Petter Sund.
And my name is Matthias, and these are our Swedish
Meatballs.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you will not miss an episode from the Taste of Europe.